Greetings, Patrick here. Have Cheetah Will View, and welcome to a special Saturday edition of Eight Questions with. We'll be talking with my friend Monique Parent. She'll be here in about 15 minutes or so. Yeah, so I decided to do something a little different today. You guys can see part of it already. Um, where I always have eight questions with, but today I put happy birthday, Lorianne, because today is my wife's birthday. And most of the time since she's passed, I pretty much just unplug everything and you don't see me for the day, sometimes 2 days. Um, but I decided to try to do something a little different. I thought I'd go ahead and talk to a friend. And it's a friend who I've admired for many, many years. I met Monique many, many years ago. Um, and she is actually one of the few that walked through the fire with me. And what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Sorry. It seems to be a little bit sluggish today. Um, so I thought I'd go ahead and ask Monique to come out and hang out with us. We'll talk for a little bit. And like I said, she's been here from the beginning. As far as that goes, Lori got sick. Her and I had actually met beforehand, and became good friends. And man, we've been through some fires together. But I've been watching her since for quite a while. And if there's anything good that you ever wish upon somebody, like you really just wish that they would find everything their hearts desired, it would be Monique. Um, she is extremely talented, hardworking, um, fearless, um, a role model. Um, she's a terrific human being, and she really kept my. She's one of the people who got me to go. As far as writing reviews, she is the person that got me doing this. She's the one that told me to do this because I was talking to her and I was sitting there saying, even though she had walked with me through when Lori was very desperately sick and ended up passing away, but she was one that encouraged me to write, to write. So I did. I wrote this. I used to write all the time, but it got to the point where, like I said, I always felt like how many people. Hey, Daryl. Thank you, sir. I picked the perfect person to come hang out with me today. I really did. Um, when I was telling Monique, like I didn't, because I just felt like I've said this before, but I always felt like people would get tired of hearing someone just talk about what was going on with them over and over, and I was trying to figure out what to do. And Monique's the one that actually came up with the idea of doing film reviews, and through her, I met Sean Kane. And through Sean Kane, I reviewed my very first film that had Monique in it. Um, the Derek Jeter almost flew out of the house though, because he says, "Wait a minute, you can't kill her," even though she had a really she had an interesting death scene in Jurassic City, that's for sure. That movie is a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance to look up Jurassic City, which it plays on Tubi like all the time, you need to watch that one. That one's a little bit different. that was that one was a lot of fun, and that was actually my very first review. And of course, the girl who recommended it to me it says, "Oh yeah, by the way, oh yeah, I saw that you got killed." That's no fun. Um, and so, we stayed in touch lightly. I've watched her grow. Um, she's been so busy. It's one of the main reasons. Oh my Lord, she's been so busy. Um, I mean, she's closing up on 200 credits already, and I think I will find out when she gets here. I do believe that she's going to be a pioneer of the new vertical TV, I guess the vertical network. It's I guess it's a whole new genre, or they're filming like 3 to 5 minute sound bites, and then they're putting them all together, and Monique's doing that, and she's one of the leading actors that have been doing. She's been doing it quite a bit now, and I mean, I think she's got like close to like 30 of these projects underneath her belt. But it's a new big thing. It's as far as TV goes, it's a new big thing. Um, and so she's been doing them. I've seen them before. It's like a short. Someone did a short, and then they, instead of you talking about your life, or like I'm doing now, they put together a movie out of this. Now, the only thing I've seen this happen twice, like webisodes almost, right? I've only seen like 2 or 3 webisodes. And yeah, when they're done right, they're a lot of fun. Um, I guess the vertical ones are, yeah, I guess they're supposed to be top of the food chain. So I'm looking forward to talking with Monique about that. Um, but she's also, she's built herself into a brand. She's extremely has extremely loyal fan base. She started YouTube. She is the Her YouTube channel and her live. She does a live on Mondays for 1 hour, 1 hour only. She's on there for an hour. She's got over 300,000 subs, which is absolutely amazing to me. It's awesome, to tell you the truth, and you can see why she has it, because I've been in her room where she's had up to three. I don't know. I've never seen her room less than like 70 people for her live, anywhere between 70 to a couple hundred. It all depends. It all depends on how busy she is, but she engages with everybody. And I watched. I mean, I've sat there and I watched. I haven't said anything, but I just sit there and I watch, because it's just so much fun to watch a really kind-hearted person come out there and able to acknowledge everybody in the chat and keep the chat flowing. Um, she has a wonderful husband named Howard, who I've yet to meet, but I would like to. Uh, he is her and Monique. He and Monique are what me and Lorianne were. She found her soulmate, and I cannot be more tickled than that. Um, and so I have really some of these questions going to ask her today. We're going to find out together, because there's a lot of them out there that I haven't asked. This is the first time I've asked her to come on and do an interview. Um, I think maybe once I did it, but she was just so busy, and I just like, I'm not going to do that. She is D's, no doubt about that. Uh, yeah, she's no doubt about that. Um, yeah, and she has a really good sense of humor too. Um, that's one thing I think a lot of people, she's known as the thinking man's sex symbol. Um, yeah, I can see that. she, um, when she before she just when she first started out, and when I met her, she was a redhead. Now, I have a thing for redheads. I always have. I don't know what it is, but redheads are just amazing to me. And so when I saw Monique the first time she was a redhead, I was like, that's just, that's a pretty girl. But she's a lot more than a pretty girl. She's also a hell of an actress. Um, with, like I said, with almost 200 credits underneath her belt. And that's just movies. I mean, we're not talking about the commercials or the modeling or anything else like that. Um, she's also a cat lover, which is, which it's probably how her, it's like most of the people I meet, uh, a lot of the people I meet, especially in showbiz, we always end up meeting through cats, through the love of cats. I, the, and it isn't just me either. I'll someone has people have come up to me and they commented on either Derek Jeter or Ginger or of course the mighty Cheetah. They'll start talking about my cat, and then next thing you know, we're talking cats, and next thing you know, they're doing an interview with me, and it's just like we're talking cats. Uh, um, but Monique's cats, Colby and Sequel. Colby crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Uh, and same thing with Paladin. Um, boy, and Derek Jeter, they basically saved our asses. They saved us. We didn't save them. They saved us. So, so we're definitely going to be talking to Monique about our mutual love for cats. Um, man, this is uh, this is really sluggish right now. All right. Wow. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Maybe it's just really busy. Close that down. I'm going to try to close the windows down for a minute. Now, most of the time, whenever Lori Ann's birthday came around, what I would do is, like I said, I would take, when she was with me for her birthday, uh, we just go and go find a nice restaurant to go eat at, and we also would try to, go exploring, go somewhere we never been before. Um, as far as that goes, um, we go to different cities around us. That's one thing I'll say where I'm at here. You can turn your car around pretty much three-quarters of a, you could go north and go into Detroit, but you could go south or west or east, and within about 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, you're out in the boondocks, out in small towns and what have you. And we would just go out there just to explore places, we haven't been before, and find a, either we either have a nice lunch, or then that night we would go back home for dinner. Uh, Now afterwards, after she passed, um, I didn't, like I said, I didn't do that after that. I pretty much just every day that come by, or July 25th, or June 19th, or May 20th. You guys never see me on those days. Though I will say on the 19th, you guys do see me now on the 19th. The 19th has turned into a joyful day. Um, yeah, that's a story of itself. Um, and I don't know, I think that's probably one of the reasons why I decided to try to do this today. Was like, I said, you know what? You know, my wedding anniversary is no longer a painful reminder. It's a joyful day. And so I'm going to try to do something a little different and come talk to some folks and, to see if I can get, Monique was always my first choice for this. She was my first choice, or my only choice. It was either she could do it or she couldn't. If either I was either going to be here for this, or I wasn't. And so I was really really happy when she said that she would come over and hang out with us. Now I do know that she had mentioned on her Monday that there was a vertical shoot going on, but I have not heard from her saying that. They're saying, "Hey, I might be being called in today," so I don't know as far as that goes. Um, you know how that works here on Eight Questions with, and you know how the actors' lives are. I mean, I've seen it where she's pinged out on her Monday night and said, "I'm not going to be there because I'm working." And so that's what happens. They go to work, actors work. So they get called in to do a shoot or whatever, they have to go. But like I said, I did not hear anything like that today. So I am hoping against hope here. And the other thing is too, I did not tell her, I did not tell her what I was doing as far as this day goes. And speaking of warriors and good-hearted people, uh, I'm looking at another friend here whose husband is fighting the good fight as well. And she was also with us from the beginning. And and her husband is doing well. He's actually a miracle, to tell you the truth. Man, he is a miracle. I, I, yeah, it's awesome. All right. I did not tell her, like I said, I did not tell Monique that I was going to have her do this today. So, but yeah, she's got a fascinating story for sure. And while we wait, I'll bounce over here and tell you what's coming up on the calendar because we still got some stuff coming up the rest of the month. All right. All right. Well, today's Monique. Tomorrow, on the ISC show, we're gonna be over at Ben from Cadaver Club's channel. Um, if you need to find Ben Cadaver's Club, just type in Cadaver Club ISC, and that will take you to his channel. And we're gonna be talking about Speak No Evil 2022, the original film, Dutch film. We're going to be talking about that on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It'll be me, Mighty Mary Wilson, Jen from Jen's Reviews from the Grave, and of course Ben and myself. That'll be at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. On the 28th, we have filmmaker Robert Parent will be here with us. Cannot wait to talk with Robert. He's made himself some funny ass movies. And we'll be talking about his career and yeah. Robert saved my bacon earlier, and I just want a chance to say thank you. On Wednesday the 29th, we have Matt Burns will be here with us, and he'll be talking about his film career. He does his own company, and he also does his own films, and he also helps runs a film company called Blood Pact. And he'll be here on the 29th. Then Timothy Chelsmar will be here on the 8th, 8 p.m. on the 30th. Yay! Okay. Saturday, August 1st, we'll see the return of Tatiana Neva. She'll be here at 5 o'clock. Actually, a week from today. Yeah, week from today. How about that? A week from today, we'll have Tatiana be here at the same time, 5 o'clock. And then on the 4th, we have Ray Starr. Matt Burt's the good people. Yeah. Yep. I'm looking forward to talking with him. I definitely am looking forward to talking with him. Yeah, I talked to Amanda Megan, and we had a really good talk, and we talked about you, Daryl, because because we talked about. Of course, we had to. We had to talk about Stoner Snake, uh, one of my favorite movies this year, and me and Amanda Megan, we talked about it. Yeah, it was good times. Good times. Uh, Ray Star. See, I mentioned Ray Star, and then on the 6th we have Eric Muse will be here with us. Um, on the 12th we have Scott Hand, plus two of his crewmates, Alex and Andrew, who ran his cinematography, and Boom Mike. So I'm looking forward to this too, and they will be here and talk about their film as well. On the 13th, we have a film director Jeremiah Kipp will be with us. So once in a while, we stumble across a heavy hitter, and we definitely got one here in Jeremiah. He is the director of The Mortuary's Assistant. We talked to Tracy Beebe. She was the screenwriter. Now we're talking with Jeremiah, who directed the movie. I liked the movie, and so the chance to talk to Jeremiah about his career, including The Mortuary's Assistant. Yeah, sign me up. That'll be on August 13th at 8 p.m. On the 17th, we're going to meet two more of the creators and operators of. Okay, yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about contamination and boxcar racers with Brimstone Productions, Preston and David. And then on the 18th, we have filmmaker Salem DeBetta will be here, and she's made a couple of films, one called Matched, and one called see, I got Matched and Control Freak, and that's her first name too, is Salem. We're so happy about that. We're so happy about that. Tomorrow night we for RetroTube TV, that'll be coming at that will be coming at 6 p.m. and we're going to be going out west to check out the Ponderosa, which was a prequel to the show Bonanza. This was a prequel to that show. It only ran for 1 year, but it was a good show, and we're going to be talking about it a little bit tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And then we're going to be talking about Battle of the Network Stars on the 29th of July. That was with Mr. Dan and Kenny from Kenny Talks Movies, and with Kenny, Jim, and Sean Talk Movies, and we talked about the Battle of the Network Stars. That was a very entertaining show to do. We had a lot of fun, and we found out that Kenny has a hidden talent, and you guys will really, really dig it. And then, wow, after that, in August, we're going to be doing, we're going to go back and do some animation as well. So there's everything you need to know what I'm doing on the channel. And I am thinking she got waylaid. Let's see if I can ping her up. Yeah. I have a feeling she got nailed for her for on shoot. She's not on. Normally, even when she's not talking, her messenger is on, and it's not. So that tells me that she's probably working. Ah, well, we'll talk. Like I said, I every single time she must have heard me. She did hear me. She was on shooting, which would actually be sort of cool if she was on set because then we get to see everything. There she is.
Hello, hello. Ah, that's too bright.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
You are
Move
here?
sideways?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
For
Okay,
me,
good. Then I can put you on here so I don't have to hold you. I was trying to.
are you on? Are you on set today?
No, I'm not.
Okay. because
No,
I know that I know you were on set I think twice this week though, from what I understood, right?
no, but I booked 2 things this week.
Okay, there you go. Show off
Let
your
me.
wrist.
Oh, my wrist is
Show
doing great. Let me just. I was set up to do this on my computer because I like being able to see better because it's so
uh-huh.
teeny and tiny on my phone, and I don't have good vision. But none of that worked. So there we go. You're on my phone. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you and I was actually trying to, first of all, I'm not since probably didn't hear this, but I picked you today for a reason. Today would have been Lorianne's birthday, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, going like, man, who else should I talk to? Because I wanted to do something. I wanted to get out to talk to people today. So I'm thinking, well, there's only one person
Well,
to
now
talk
just make
to.
me start crying right off the bat.
Yeah, you and I have been through we've been through the wars.
Yes, we have. Yeah, we have.
It's amazing. I think about that and going, like, man, and I mean this from the bottom of the heart, but man, if anybody ever deserved to be where they're at now, happy and living a great life with a soulmate, it's you. You
Thank you.
deserve this.
Thank
I
you.
and when I peep in there on Mondays, I know I don't say a lot on Mondays when you're in there because I don't ever want to be a distraction. So I just sit there and I just watch, and it's such a beautiful thing to watch you interact with people and helping
Oh,
them because
thank you.
that's how you've always been. You've always been uh, the type of person to go out and to help them out with whatever they need. And for me, well, I needed a lot of Monique, and
And I
and
wish
thank
I
you
could
for
have
that.
given you more.
You gave me what I needed, and I mean, I wouldn't be doing this without you. This is also part of our friendship because you're the one that told me to first do reviews, and then you introduced me to Sean. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, and then I go out there, and then my very first review, Jurassic City, and what happens? You get killed.
Well, your friends kill you well.
Yes,
Every time I
you had
get killed by one of my friends, it's especially photogenic and interesting.
oh, God, that movie is so much fun.
It is a
Um,
lot of fun.
Sean, did Sean tell you that I almost didn't review it?
No.
Um, there was a well because he actually came to the rescue because before I had done it, I had saw a movie called Chaos. This company sent me a movie too, and I wasn't even reviewing yet, but they sent me a movie called Chaos, and I cannot tell you how vile that movie was. I mean, it was terrible and offensive. And the lady who sent it to me, I called her up. I said, I'm just curious. I said, have you ever seen did you see this movie that you sent me? Did you see Chaos? I already knew she hadn't. There's just no way that she had seen this movie. And she said, no, I haven't watched it yet. I said, well, you should watch what you send out to people. You should watch it before you send it out.
Yeah.
There was a gentleman named Kevin Cage,
Yeah.
and he was in Jurassic City, and I saw that, and man, he was in that movie Chaos. I just told Sean, I said, "There's no way," because I told him about the movie. I said, "There's no way I can review this one." He says, "Wait a minute, wait a minute." He says, first of all, I can tell you, I'll go to bat with it. I'll go to bat and tell you that he isn't what he did that movie, yes, but it was a paycheck. He had to
Yeah.
work.
Sometimes
He's
we
not,
all do things for a paycheck.
yeah,
Sometimes rent's
and
got to be paid.
yeah, and so he says, I can tell you, he's a really good guy, and so that's why I turned around. And I said, well, does have our favorite redhead in there, so all right, we're in for it. And so, but yeah, that was my very first review of Jurassic City, and I had so much fun doing it. And And you and I, of course, and I mentioned this too. You and I, we met through cats.
Through cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, cats are lifesavers, you know? We both know that.
Um. Yes. Oh my gosh. You know, we're the type of people that we don't rescue cats. Cats
They
rescue
rescue
us.
us. Yeah.
Um. Uh, you know, I'm gonna go back because I want to talk because a lot of people might know maybe you know some of your YouTube channel by the way is off the chain. I'm blown away every time I walk in there. It's like holy crap, you have 300,000 people just coming in there and checking out what you're doing.
I know
This
that's pretty.
is that an intimidating thing, Monique? I mean, knowing that,
You know what? It is if you think about it as a whole, but realistically, not all those people are watching my videos. In fact, that was the best thing when I started. And when I've talked to people who are starting YouTube channels, it's like you have to realize that at first, nobody's watching.
yeah.
Maybe your friends, maybe. Doll wouldn't bet money on that. Your friends will say they'll check it out, but they're not going to sit there and watch. And then it eventually starts catching on and you develop an audience. But at first you're like, okay, maybe two people will see this. Oh, now look, maybe 20 people will see this, and then okay, now it's 200, and it just sort of grows. But not everybody's watching it all at once.
Uh, I mean, you started your channel just basically being yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
you went, you know, Hollywood always goes this way, you know. You've always gone this way,
yeah,
you know, and I think that's one of the reasons why you're in such demand is because you do and you're not afraid to go the opposite way.
yeah.
Um,
I
one of the
love
things,
to show myself with no makeup because women are
yes.
so often delivered a message of you must wear makeup. It's like no, no, no. Wear makeup if you feel like wearing makeup. Wear as much or as little as you want. It's just it's something that washes off every day, so play with it.
Now, when you got into the business, what has really changed the most in you know as when you first started to where you're at now? What is
Well,
like
when
two
I
or
first
three?
started, we were shooting on film,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
now everything's shot digitally. So that was a big change.
yeah.
Um, when I first started, we took a certain amount of time to make the movie because you had to get all your angles and you had to check and blah 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 blah. And then once it went digital and you could see it and you didn't have to check the playback and do this and it moved so much faster. Nobody realized that the brain only holds so much. It's really hard to learn 20 pages of dialogue every single day. Do 12 hours, deliver those 20 pages, learn another 20 pages, and then do that the next day. It's taxing for the brain. It's easier when you're young. It's more challenging as you get older.
Um, do you have any tricks for the you know that you use to help memorize? I mean, when you there's no magic, but there's no magic. There really
There's
isn't,
no
is there?
magic. I read every scene 3 times. My husband is fantastic. Howard's amazing for helping me work and learn my lines. It's just repetition for me. We just say the words, say the words, say the words, and we just do it by rote every night, each scene 3 times, 3 times, 3 times, 3 times. And then after a while I know the words, and then once I know the words, now I can start playing with the emotion and all of that in the scene. But you gotta just slam those words into your brain first.
What when did you get the term? Because I love this term, by the way. I love the term to death. But when did you get the title of the thinking man sex symbol? Because that
Gosh,
is so
somebody
you.
somebody wrote that about me in the 90s, and I went, "Yeah, okay, I'll take that." I didn't invent it, somebody else did, but I just said, "That sounds good. I'm just going to grab that." And because back in the 90s we had Julie Strain and Rhonda Shearer. She was the queen of late night and this, and everyone had this sort of title. So I just went, yeah, I'm the thinking man sex symbol. I'm not for everyone, just the smart people.
Oh my gosh. That's not that necessarily true. I mean, you definitely right up there
Oh, I
with
have plenty of dumb fans too.
you got plenty of what?
I have plenty of dumb fans too.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, that's touching. You mentioned Julie Strain. We have a great affection for her.
Yes.
In my little group of people, me and another buddy and I, we can we every time Julie's name comes up or she pops up on TV, we just think about it. And did you ever get a chance to meet with her or work with
I
her?
worked with her a couple of times.
Yeah,
She was great.
with the,
I have a picture that I took my ex-husband, Harry. I took he was on came to set one time, and I took a picture of him and her. We were didn't have cell phones back then. It was a we had those little Instamatic
right,
cameras, and
right.
I took a picture of Julie and Harry, and then later on she was in costume, and she flipped back her cape, and now her bare breasts, and she's in a corset with her bare breasts, the cape flipped back. She's 6'1" already in bare feet, but now she has on heels. So see, she's 6'5", 6'6",
Oh my
and so
gosh.
she's towering over him. I mean, he's like 5'11", he's not short, but her breasts were bigger than his head. And it was the funniest picture. And whenever I'd show that to people, or he would show it to people, people would say, "Well, what does your wife think of this?" He's like, "Who do you think took the picture?"
Yeah, Julie was a sweetheart from everything I've
Yes.
ever read about her.
Yeah.
Uh, you had a lot of fun. Your career, I mean, you got almost 200 credits. You've done everything.
I've had
I
a big
mean,
life.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've had an awesome career.
I have.
It's been a lot of fun watching it. The only movie I have yet to never be able to catch is the one that I wanted to see you in the most because I you and I were talking about it when you were doing the shoot when you're shooting it and when you got the job and then you went ahead and you filmed it and that was with Lady Bathory.
Oh, yeah. What is that called? Boo! I should know the name of my own movie.
That's the I kept on well, even today I keep looking for that.
I will
Oh,
look
I
around and
can
see if I have a copy of it.
let's see if I can find it.
Let's see if what
Let's
was
see.
that? Was it
What was it Hairball?
Donald Glut directed it? Glut.
I have to ask you. Okay. So I was looking through your credits and then you have this short film that you did called Hairball.
Yeah.
And of course I read upon that. I'm going like, oh my God, this is so her. You know damn well it's going to be talking about hairball. Uh, do you get you not only you like the thinking man sex symbol. I mean, hell, I mean, didn't you say the other week you're doing auditions. People were having auditions, and one wanted you audition in a bikini.
Oh yeah, I have had a number of bathing suit auditions lately, which that's fine, but I didn't for a long time, and it's just suddenly weird at age 60 to be getting a lot of bathing suit auditions. It's like, okay. I mean, I still look pretty good in a bathing suit. I do not look like a 20-year-old in a bathing suit. I look age appropriate, which is
Oh my
fine,
God.
but it's not what it was at 20 or 30.
I remember, you know, we talked about that, you know, sometimes, you know, because you've done some films that have like these, you know, Julie and
Yeah.
Rhonda Shear, where you've had to, you know, show a little skin, you know, especially during the 90s. Like
In the
it's funny,
90s,
Monique,
if you wanted to work, you showed skin.
it's funny, it's because I just recently, and you're gonna laugh at this, but I recently just found my very first on DVD, my very first Skinamax movie.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, it was like, I didn't think those things got transferred
they
to
very
us.
few, very few.
Oh,
So
that
which one
okay.
was
I
it?
it was called Nightfire with Shannon Tweed.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um, that was an interesting movie. She played against type in that movie, which is really what made it stand out. She wasn't her usual dominant self, and I would say that it was. Is it safe to say you, Joan Severance? I mean, there was Joan Severance, Shannon Tweed,
Shannon
Shannon
Worley.
Worley. Went yes. Um, you guys really helped keep the cable, especially Cinemax. You
Yes,
really you saved their bacon, basically. People have no idea exactly how popular during the '90s um, the movies were back then.
yeah.
Um, it was sort of like the guys doing the action movies, Schwarzenegger and Dolph Lundgren and whatnot. They were doing their
Mhm.
action movies, but for women actresses, they were doing the the erotic thrillers, and they
Yeah.
weren't just yeah. And let's make this crystal clear: these were not like exploitation films. These
No,
movies actually had plots. These movies
they had
had
plots,
they
they
were
had
adventures,
stories,
and they had great
and they had
cast.
flesh.
And but you had great you
Yes,
worked with some really well-known people and they worked with you.
yes, yes.
I, I mean it's amazing. I don't think people realize exactly how many A types were on doing those movies.
Yeah.
And I said that. I said A-listers because there's yeah, I mean
Oh,
there's some people
absolutely.
on there that would be there are people out there going like, really? I didn't know that. Well,
Yeah.
um but what was it like for the first time when you did get approached to do a movie like for a Cinemax? Was it
You know,
something that was
I was never particularly shy about my body. In fact, when I was a teenager, I took myself to a nude beach because it
really?
felt kind of more normal and natural than the beach there where everyone was in bathing suits. So I was always very comfortable with my body. I was a ballet dancer for many years. I grew up doing theater. You always have communal changing rooms, and I just didn't think anything of it. So for me, the idea of nudity was easy. It was just, and I have always maintained that when I've discussed other people, if they care to do nudity at some point in their career, you need to decide that for yourself before the issue ever comes up. Because everyone's always like, well, yeah, I do it for the right amount of money. What's the right amount of money? You need to know that ahead of time. Because if you don't have an amount in mind, then you'll quibble. And you really need to, it shouldn't be about money. It should be you're either comfortable with it or you're not. Because if you are not comfortable with it, you should not do it. And nobody should
Right.
try to force you into it. And if you are comfortable with it, then great. But if you are not, don't try. Don't go there. Because you shouldn't compromise who you are in your soul. You should
Agreed.
always, you got to wake up with yourself every day. You've got to somewhere down the road, 30, 40, 50 years from now, you will look back and you want to feel good about what you did.
Well, I definitely think your legacy is there. I mean, a lot of people, does this surprise you? Does it surprise you to see exactly like all these new fans coming out of the woodwork? I mean, they've now like rediscovering you and
Yeah.
get and wanting, yeah.
It's always strange for me. I love that I have developed new fans at different points of my career. So there are people who know me from 30 years ago and they're fans in one way. There are people who just discovered me last year. They're fans in a different way. I've got YouTube fans, I've got Instagram fans, I've got TikTok fans, I've got movie fans, I've got vertical fans, and it's wonderful. I like
Vertical.
being so diverse. Except that people are like, "Well, you should go to a convention and make a killing." Except I go to a convention and everyone's like, we don't know you because we only know people for one thing.
Oh, have you
So
done
I
a
don't make
convention yet?
convention money. What?
Have you done a convention yet?
Oh yeah, I've done a bunch of conventions, and for the most part, I stand there and people go, I've seen you in something. And then they ask me to recite my IMDb, which is long.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know the
Yes.
names of everything I've done. I don't remember.
Well, I noticed. I did notice that you instantly recognize Hairball.
Yeah. Well,
That,
I will, if you promise to keep it secret and not share it with anyone, because it is
okay.
not publicly out yet, and the director hopes to do something with it someday. So do not share it with anyone, but I will transfer some to you. I will send it to you.
Maybe tell the director that someone wants to interview them about their film. Maybe that'll help them out. Because I would.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to her. She just texted me just before this. And literally,
Yeah.
she was texting me saying, how's the deck coming along? And it's like, come along great. I'll tell you more, but I'm 5 minutes of going in.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's another thing we'll talk about. That I'm going to talk about too. Because you and Howard, I mean, definitely. I think when I hear you, when I see you guys talk and interact with each other, I immediately think about me and Lorianne, and well, like, man,
Yep.
that must have been how we sounded with other people to other people.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Now I know Howard is not, he's not, he doesn't like do social media as far as showing his face and whatnot. But
Oh, he does
I
now.
would
He
like,
does now.
oh,
It was
does he?
when we first started dating. Um, he worked as a public defender for the county of Los
Oh,
Angeles, and
yeah,
he did felonies. So for my safety, we did not let
yeah.
people know who he was, because he's dealing with murderers and gang members and just some really horrible people. So for my safety, we did not allow anyone in the public to know that, because we did not want
Oh,
somebody in his world deciding to come after me to influence something. That's why.
bas yeah, basically, it's all right to watch Lifetime movies, but not so much to be part of a Lifetime movie.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
so does he still practice, or did he?
No, he's retired now.
Okay. So well, obviously, I'm going to ask how you meet. Please tell me you didn't meet in court.
No, no. There is no way we would have ever met one another. We met online. We met on a dating app, Bumble. And I liked Bumble because it allowed the women to reach out first. Because the very first time I tried a dating app, I signed up on a Friday and then I went to a convention for work when I was selling blenders. And then I came
Right.
back on Monday and I had 500 emails and was like, no, 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 no. This is overwhelming. I can't deal with this. So I was
My
like,
God.
okay, I went with Bumble so that I could do the selecting. And I had looked through everybody. I mean, I'm a picky bitch, but I had left swipe on everybody. And a couple of times, you know, Bumble said, you've looked through everybody in your area. Try again tomorrow.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and I started to think, have I pinned myself in? Have I made my search parameters too narrow? Because we're all like, well, I won't drive past here. I won't do that. Or it has to be a certain age or a certain weight or a certain thing. So I opened up my search parameter by miles, because I had said, okay, 50-mile radius. And then I said, you know what? Let's do a 75-mile radius. Let's see what that
Wow.
happens. Let's open it up. And there he was, 54 miles from me. Just opening up my radius, that little bit, he was right there. I saw his picture, and I'm one of those people who does vision boards and manifesting and stuff like that. So I had a
Yes,
vision
yeah.
board that I had been working on
I
with
remember
my
you had
career.
you and I met. You had that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
That's something I've always done. We
yeah.
I had my vision board. I had a description of the relationship that I wanted, but I did not have a photograph of the man, because I looked through all the magazines and there were a lot of handsome men and models and stuff like that, but nobody that I pictured with me. And I swiped and I saw Howard's picture and I went, see, now that's the man I would have on my vision board. And then I went, well, why don't I reach out to him? And so I did. And the next morning, he reached back and we started texting each other on the app at 7 in the morning. And
Nice.
then we took it off the app and we started texting. And then we had a phone call and we talked to each other for an hour, and it was really good. And then we said, okay, well, we'll do a phone call in a couple more days, because he lived in Orange County, which 54 miles in LA traffic is a long
That's a
way.
nightmare. That's a
Sometimes
nightmare.
that's an hour drive, sometimes that's a 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
And he had a very stable 9 to 5 job, but we had that distance in between us. And he had a
You
pretty,
know, think about what you just said there. He has a very stable 9 to 5 job as a public defender. Hell yeah! I talk about job security. That's something that you would never have to worry about.
oh yeah,
Unfortunately,
never. They didn't want to lose him,
no.
but he was very done with that world. He,
Yeah.
you know, he saw enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be really rough to sit there and know, at least 75% of the people you're representing really are guilty.
Yes. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
It's
you
not
know.
about getting people off. It's about getting people the best deal and getting
Yeah.
them humane treatment. But it wasn't. Yeah. People often have a misconception that his job was. It was just like everyone deserves representation, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But
Right.
sometimes they're a wackadoo, and sometimes they belong locked up.
Yeah.
So he
You're
saw a
right.
lot of really ugly things in the world. And,
Yeah.
for such a kind and gentle and caring man, that hurt his heart.
I guess it makes him I'm sure he's a very gentle person when you first talk to him. I'm sure he was not in the slightest way bombastic. I'm sure he's a
No,
very mild mannered spoken person.
very, very. In fact, it's funny when we order food or when he's speaking to someone directly, he tends to drop his voice and get very quiet and lean in. And it's like,
Oh,
honey,
it
that doesn't
forces
help
people
the
to
waiter
listen.
hear you.
Yeah. It forces people to listen,
Yeah.
to slow down and listen. What did he think about you when you told him, because you know how that, the joke in LA, it's like I'm an actor. Well,
Well,
you and
yeah, he was like,
who?
I had on my uh, profile that I was a YouTuber and an actor. So he's like,
Mhm.
well, what does that mean? I said, well, here, I do makeup videos for people on YouTube. So I sent him a YouTube video. Great. He could see what I did. He didn't quite get the actor thing. And then I said, so I have this series that's coming out. And he's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, so I shot this series before we met, and it's actually coming out, and it has a billboard in Hollywood. And I'd like to go see the billboard. And then the show is starting, and he's like, whoa, I had no idea. And then I sent him uh, the trailer, and he was like, this is the craziest looking thing I've ever seen. I'm in. And it was just so wild and out there. And I don't know if you've seen what I did with Brandon Rogers,
What was the
Magic
series?
Funhouse.
Oh my gosh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's
I've heard of that. I think I remember that one now. Yes.
so
I
it
I haven't I, I
he
haven't
was
seen
just
it, but I
blown
do know that.
away. I think he's got them up on YouTube now, and if he does, I'll send you the link. And I've done a number
Okay.
of shows now with Brandon Rogers, and in fact, he's getting ready to do a movie. So, and that's as far much as I'm going to say about that.
Right.
Um,
Because NDAs still, even between friends, are still NDAs.
yes, yes. Um, but Howard was just he was blown away when he saw it because it was such a well-made show, but also so out there and wacky and not politically correct. I have some of these scenes on my demo reel, and people would come after me going, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, I didn't write it. It's just on my demo reel because it's funny. I'm sorry if it offended you, but it's supposed to be offensive.
Let me go to the chat real quick. I
Okay.
know there's some people that were still here. Hey, Michael,
Oh,
how are you? Hello, sir. You always seem to have the best and most interesting guests. Yes, I do. I will take that. I will take that title. I just friended Brian A. Metcalf right before you and I got here.
oh,
I'm so excited. Do you know who Brian is?
I don't.
Oh my gosh, I watched one of his films that he did called Living Among Us, and I'm going like, man, this is a kick-ass movie.
I
And
haven't seen
so
it.
it was John Hurd's last movie.
Oh,
I think he worked with John. I think he worked with
yes.
him. Um,
Uh,
so-
no, I didn't.
no, okay.
I
Well,
don't think so.
he was a really good, terrific character actor.
Yes.
He did
Yes.
the Home Alone movie and so many other wonderful movies. But he
I would
did
have
this
liked to
movie
have worked
called
with him.
Yes. I think every actor would have liked to work with John Hurt. He was always so good, always. And he did this movie. O'Brien did this movie called Living Among Us, and I went ahead and I watched it, and I was like, this is so badass. And so I was like, I wonder. So I type in his name in there, and there he is, and he's active. And I'm going like, okay, let's just I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary. So I throw a Hail Mary, and right before we came on, he accepted my friend request. So I'm going like,
Yay.
oh yeah, yes, and
Oh,
I said,
wonderful.
that's right. Getting a part, Monique. Even today, when you get booked for a gig, you still have that energy you did when you got your first one, your first
Oh,
booking,
yeah.
don't you?
It's every bit as exciting. And it's every bit as crushing when you don't get the parts,
Mm.
but you can't get them
Uh,
all.
Yeah, that was one thing. That's one thing we talked about earlier, and when I was doing this series, I talked to different actors and directors and whatnot. And that was one thing that always used to get underneath my skin was the fact that people go out for parts, go out for auditions, and you're like I remember watching this. I was watching this with Scrubs, and they're doing the behind the scenes, and they're talking about how they went out for parts for like six times for the network, six times they were seen. And at the end of it, they didn't know if they got picked or not until they finally got a phone call. And to me, I
Yeah.
always felt like, man, it would be nice if you made it the final five or the
To
final eight or
just have a
whatever it is.
courtesy call saying, not this
Yes,
time.
yes. It
You
drives
always
me
are just
nuts.
left with that open end. And it's like, I didn't hear, and I'll never know why.
Yeah,
I'll never
that
know.
right there is what it's like. And to me, it's like, if I was a manager or if I was your booking agent at CAA, William Morris or whatnot, believe me, I'm gonna call and find out why you didn't pick up my client. I'm gonna get an answer from you. Either that or you're gonna want
Yeah.
something from me,
And
because they
sometimes
can.
it's as simple as everyone else we cast was 6 feet tall and you're 5'4". We needed
Yeah,
to cast a taller person. And that it just comes down to that. And it's you could be the top choice, but because they already cast all of these other tall people, it's gonna look weird to have you be. It can be such little things. It can be you're the director's first choice, but you're the
right.
producer's third choice, and you're the other producer's second choice. So they're going to compromise by going with the second choice. It's
Yeah,
just,
it should always be done by talent. It really should. It should
but
always
it's,
be the person fits the part.
it is, well, but sometimes it's who makes the family. You can't necessarily have two black parents and a white child unless that's the story.
Right.
But ordinarily, that wouldn't be the story. So you have to, you, if you've got two black parents, you need a black child because that's just how genetics works.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, sometimes it works out for you and sometimes it doesn't work out for you. And that's why I have learned with casting, for all that I will get my heart broken, I can also say sometimes you don't get to have all of them. And it's sometimes it's just not my turn. And other people deserve a turn.
But isn't it awesome though? Here we are here in 2026 and we're able to talk like that.
Yeah.
20, 30 years ago, we wouldn't because you would
No.
already hit the glass ceiling. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of well-respected ladies who have come up and just absolutely just rocked the world.
Sorry, I
Um,
disappeared. My
oh, okay.
phone, my watch decided that I needed to take a picture for some reason.
It's probably sequel running around.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
my condolences too. Before we get back, I just want to say, because I don't want to forget this, but my condolences on Kobe. I love
Thank
Kobe.
you.
Kobe was an awesome cat.
Colby was an awesome cat. He was amazing, like Paladin. And
Yeah, Paladin. Paladin is a. I just I just know that he's slowing down a little bit, and I'm
yeah,
seeing it. You know,
and
Uh, but orange cats though, because before you and I think this Kobe was your first orange cat, wasn't he?
no, I've had orange cats before.
Had you? Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know that because
yeah,
orange cats are the bomb.
they're great. They're great.
They have the
They're
most
great.
personality
They have
of
so
any
much
cat.
personality. But
Um, yeah,
I
but the
think
fact
when the time comes that Paladin leaves you, you need to go get another cat right away.
I know it's gonna be.
And it's not dishonorable to Paladin, but you have to take care of your heart. And it's important to live
Yeah,
someplace with another heartbeat in the house.
I've always been looking at him going. I've always said that as far as he runs, so will I.
Yeah.
And
You keep going.
that's yeah. But I'm gonna keep this light.
Yeah.
But I do love you, girl. I do. You've been such a good friend. Even though, like I said,
We
even
have
though we
been.
haven't talked every day, but you've always been a constant. I can't thank you enough for that. It's so much fun. Like I said, it's been so much fun watching you just everything you've gotten. And the thing is, so nothing is given. I want to make this clear. Nothing was given to you.
Oh no,
You
I
earned
fought for everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who use connections and nepotism and are insiders and whatever.
I
You have
moved to
never,
Los Angeles. I didn't know a single person,
no.
and nothing has been handed to me. I have fought for every audition and worked my way up and cried and you know, it's it's been it's been a journey.
You've also, if yeah, it has been, and it's been like I said, it's one that's well deserved,
And it's
and
going to continue to be a
and
journey.
I'm excited. It's exciting, to be able to talk like this because we're here. We are. You and I are talking about 60 years old, and you're standing in your power. And 30 years ago, maybe not so much. But what do you think? I mean, what do you think caused that? That was it's just the fact that people finally decided just to like they understood the audience. Like, hey, there's a lot of people out there that can relate to an older actor or actress. To me, I tell you who I really admire because he's still doing it every single day, and it's amazing to me because I look at him like, man, I remember when he was young. But that's Eric Braeden.
Eric, oh, Eric Braden.
He's 86 years old and he's
Yeah,
still walking around like he's a king of the ring.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
mean, people love that. They respond to that.
yeah.
Um, the vertical thing that you're doing now, you're sort of like on the cutting edge of this, aren't you? I mean, this is
You
like
know,
you're one of the leading actors doing this.
I wouldn't say that. I verticals have been around for about 3 years. And last year, year two, when it was like the second year of verticals really existing in the US, is when I climbed on board. And I was like, because in 2024, I barely worked. I spent the first half of 2024 in two casts. And then
Yep.
the second half of 2024, I was busy getting married and working on the house because we had the wedding at the house. And so, that was all of that. So I didn't work in 24. So 25, I'm like, I am working. And I jumped in and I hit it hard. And it was just a dopamine rush, just boom, 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 boom. But I did get a little burnt out by the end of it. I worked really hard. I think I did like 25 or 26 last year. And then I've done 3 this year. And I just booked what I think is my 30th. And so I'm taking it slower now. I hit it really hard. It's a different genre. It reminds me a lot of the 90s when we were making all of the sort of erotic thrillers, that sort of energy in the younger people and stuff. But the egos, there's some fabulous talents, some really good people, but I have worked with some people who have egos that are just mind blowing. Like,
Wow.
it's like,
I actually,
you
I
real, yeah. I've seen some egos that are just like, ooh, you need a little reality check. But
is that still prevalent
life
in
will gild it.
Hollywood? Is
What?
that still prevalent? Is that still prevalent in Hollywood? People with egos,
Oh
considering
yeah.
the state of the industry now. I mean, it's no longer a sure thing these days.
Well, the people who
Uh,
are working in verticals are really, you've got your vertical talent and you have your typical talent, your standard horizontal. And they don't really cross too much. The most of the vertical actors are vertical actors and they've never worked on anything horizontally. And so sometimes the egos have developed in that world, and it's just sort of like, just because you're a big shit in that world doesn't mean that you're a big shit in all the worlds, and you still should be a kind person.
Now, how
Um,
does a vertical work? Is it sort of like a serial where you go out there and you shoot like 35-minute pieces and they all run together?
we shoot it just like a movie. It's shot just like an independent movie, and it's basically, the script is about 80 pages long, just like a film. And then
Okay,
it's broken down. The episodes are each about 90 seconds long,
90
and they
seconds.
have yeah, and they have it written so that it's always on a cliffhanger. The 90 seconds ends on a cliffhanger, and then a
Like the
cliffhanger
40s.
and a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
So everything's like, oh, what's coming next? So you go right to the next episode. So you can watch, like, sit down, watch a whole bunch of episodes and then stop, or you can watch the whole thing and see a movie.
it's sort of like
Um,
the old serials of the 30s and 40s
yeah,
with
sort of.
always the cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But they really do like a cliffhanger, and they drop you right into the action. There's not as much story development. Everything is the movie begins at the highest point, so you're immediately caught up. I mean, and there's not a lot of exposition. There's not a lot of
No.
warming up and learning about the characters. That's why some of the characters are not as well developed as others, as you'd see in a movie. There's a little something corporate about the way verticals are made, which I find interesting. I've had the
Yeah.
experience one time on set. Um, we had Scripty, who is supposed to remind you of lines if you forget your line and help you out, and they also keep track of continuity and stuff. Um, we had this one script supervisor, and she was just super persnickety about every and and anything that you came out of your mouth. But you had to get the word right. And at one point I said, well, I don't interpret my character like that. And he's like, and she went, no, I'm the one who tells you how your character is interpreted. And your character is interpreted like this. And like, I'm the actor. You are the script supervisor. You don't tell me how to interpret my character. That is overstepping your job. So there's some people in the business who are not quite sure how the movie business works, and they've elevated themselves in certain things. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, as an actress, is it a fun format or it's work, but is it? I mean, do you think that?
It depends on who you're working with.
Yeah, yeah,
It depends on the crew. I have worked with some crews that were, it's a joy to go to work. You love everyone. Yes, it's hard work, but you're having a good time the whole time doing it. And I've worked with others where it's all you can do to get yourself to work on time and to make it through the day because it's just a negative experience.
mm,
And sometimes it's because your character, sometimes they don't always let you read the script before you get cast in it. So you just have seen a couple pages of sides, you audition, you get cast, and then you read the script and you're going, oh, oh, I'm a horrible person. I do horrible things. I don't I don't want to do these horrible things. I don't want to strike a child. I don't, and even though you're not
oh,
actually striking the child and it's all, you know, stunts,
right.
it still looks like that when people watch it. People perceive you as striking a child. So it can be misleading and frustrating because I've worked on things where people have just said to me, I want to be done with this project because I don't like my character. I don't like who I am. I don't like how they dress me. I don't like the words that I have to say. It's like, then it's tough. Then
Is
it
it a
really feels like work.
is it like lifetime level language and action, or is it more adult?
It's it's lifetime level, but they
Okay,
they they
not a bad
hint at
thing, by
more
the way.
adult. What?
Yeah, I don't. Lifetime is not a bad thing.
No,
I watch a lot of those movies, a lot.
Lifetime's great, but our language will be a little more explicit than a Lifetime movie.
Sure.
Um,
Uh,
and sometimes they always, because there's romance in a lot of it, and they have sexy scenes, and they have intimacy coordinators, which is wonderful, not like we did back in the day.
no.
And they're very safe in their intimate scenes. But sometimes with verticals, the challenge is verticals are trying to save money by doing AI, and some of them are trying to stretch the boundaries of what the actors have consented to with their AI, and that's wrong.
Yeah. AI is gonna.
Uh,
That's just
yeah,
frustrates me.
I'm very anti AI.
Yeah.
I mean, AI I think
I'm
has
not
its
a fan.
place, but not in art.
No. No. What's it like? What when you're in earlier in your career, you're known for playing, Spitfires. Maybe a little bit villainous.
Yep.
But now, what's it? I mean,
Well, I'm still
do
a
you miss those
villainess.
days?
I'm
Oh, are
still a
you still?
villainess. Yeah, I
Oh,
very
okay.
rarely play a nice person.
Yeah. Why is that?
I
Why
don't
is that?
know, because I'm
How come?
really
Is it more
okay.
fun for you to play the villainous than playing the mom?
Not always. Um, I like playing a villainess when it's a nuanced villain. I want to have reasons for my villainy. I don't. A lot of times in vertical scripts, and this is changing. This is evolving. So a lot of when verticals first got started, they were taken from Chinese microdramas, and so they literally took these Chinese stories and they did them exactly the same, but in English. But these are stories that have been told in China for centuries, and now we've just done it in an English version, but it doesn't necessarily translate societally. Sometimes they'll have wedding customs that then I'm reading this. It's like, this doesn't sound like any wedding I've ever been to. But it's like, okay, well, it's something got lost in translation. Uh, and at first, they were doing a lot of AI translations. And
Wow.
we'd be reading some, and I remember doing one where this one actress was just hilarious. She's like, "Oh no, I'm going to deliver my lines exactly as it's written." So she was hugely pregnant in this scene, and she was like, "I about to delivery," because that's how it was written.
How much fun is that?
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
Um, what do you feel? What do you think? Do you think this is going to be? Do you think? I mean, I know they launched a vertical platform, vertical TV. Do you think that will help the help verticals to become more popular, encourage better working conditions for the actresses and actors involved, or is it that corporate that
It's
buzz you hear in your ear?
I think it's going to be like the film industry has historically been. I think you're going to have the big players start doing, making vertical content that will be, they'll hire union actors, and they will present it in a certain way. And then you will have the lower budget that does it their way. And then you will have the AI. So you're going to have tiers of quality. And we'll see what the market will bear. We'll see what the audience prefers. Does the audience prefer known names and content where they pay more for it, or do they want the lesser quality AI and they watch it for free, or do they want to see, you know, mid-range where you have non-name actors, but they're, who knows? We will see. The audience is going to tell the industry what it wants.
I think it's really, I think it's extremely smart of you, extremely smart, is that when you went ahead and you started your YouTube channel, you started doing the get ready for me's, and you start building up your brand that way. To me, I just think that's one of the smartest things I've seen. I've seen a few actresses do that as well, come out with doing videos and whatnot, like comedy bits or whatnot. They're not just standing still waiting for that phone to ring. They're going out there and
Yeah.
making that hustle themselves. So now here he is, YouTube has monetized you, and and now you actually have a fighting chance to actually make a good living off of one of the
And
rare ones.
I made a good living off of my YouTube channel for a while. And then when the pandemic happened, I stopped wearing makeup. When I was a little girl, when I was 12 years old, I started getting acne. And like many young girls, I put makeup on to hide the acne and to feel pretty. And it reached the point where, because I had really, really bad skin for a long time. And so makeup was just a way of life for me. And that was great with the YouTube channel, because it's like, okay, I'm taking my history as an actor and as well as a person who puts on makeup, and I'm doing that together. And it's great for creating a YouTube channel. But somewhere during the pandemic, I decided I liked my face without makeup, which is really good for your mental health, but
Yes.
not really good for your makeup channel. And I just have not had the momentum of doing makeup videos because I just don't care. I don't care about doing makeup.
Oh
It
my
feels
gosh,
artificial now.
there's
And so
one
now,
actress, uh, there's one actress who I really adore. I think she's just, in fact, her, Jessica Cameron.
oh, yes, yes.
She's adorable,
I love Jessica.
freaking adorable. Me
Yeah.
too, me too. Um, but I remember watching her do her makeup channel. Oh my gosh, I was so worried because it's like, man, she's just a naturally beautiful girl, and then she was doing all this stuff to her face, all
Yeah.
all the injections and all, and I got worried. I was
Yeah.
like, man, you're just,
Is she
that's a
still doing
beautiful.
that?
You don't need to. Yeah, I mean, it's like, to me, it's like get a
She's a
mannequin to work
beautiful
on you.
woman. She never needed to do
Yeah.
any of that. But
No.
unfortunately, our society tells women that they have to do those things, and we don't. I don't
No,
do Botox. I don't, you can see I can frown. It's like all the wrinkles are there. Um,
but
I
that's what
used to
makes you
do
that's what makes
Botox.
you so beautiful, though.
Well,
People love that. People, most society, maybe the upper 2%, are like that. But the people like us here on the no, I no, I like natural beauty. I don't
yeah,
really like makeup and all that. And when I see a girl, I like to just, whether they wear makeup or not. I just don't want to see clown makeup.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
like,
And I've
um,
gotten to that point now. Like I don't have foundation on. I don't feel the need to put a mask over my whole face. I put on a little bit of concealer, a little concealer under my eyes. I put on a little blush, little lip, some eyeshadow, mascara.
your fans your fans followed you. I mean, you were doing the makeup, but it wasn't until you stopped doing it that it really took off, right? Now women are looking and going like, I don't have to do that. I mean, Monique's saying, look how beautiful she looks, and I can do the same thing she's doing and save some money. And more people seem to be coming over to your channel.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of comments do you usually get? Because that's one thing too about your Monday nights. I don't know how you do that. You have to explain to me how to do that, because you'll have anywhere between 80 to 300 people in your room, and you'll be able to answer everybody.
Oh, I
That's
try. It's
that's a
hard.
gift.
It's hard. And what's really hard is, because I listen, we've got a terrific group of people and everybody's helping each other. And sometimes I look at the chat and it's like, oh, they're all just talking amongst themselves. It's not even a question
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
They're just
yeah.
having a whole
Good chats, good
conversation.
chats. I'll be just Yeah. I've been
It's
in a
like,
few
oh,
chats where that. Yeah, it's
should
it's
I
it's
just sit
great.
here and let you guys talk? I mean, go on, carry on.
And
um,
you started a podcast too, or are you
I
still doing your
did.
podcast?
No, my partner in the podcast bowed out a few months ago. She sent me a text and said, "Hey, I can't do this. I've got to get some other stuff done with my life." And that was that.
Podcasts are hard. Oh
Yes.
my Lord, people have no idea how hard it is to go. Even you do your 1 hour long your pod on Monday, even when you do that, it takes effort to do that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes effort.
I've seen a lot of good podcasts, and they'll come out there, and I always look at until they get like 30 or 40 underneath their belt. I'm gonna hold my breath on that to see if they can
Yeah,
make it or not. But I did see that you thought you started your podcast. I didn't know what had happened to it. Um,
that's what happened.
but uh, life happens. That's all
Yeah.
right.
And it's
You
just
think about
like, you know what? We gave it a shot, didn't work. Moving on.
are you gonna
Will
try
I
it
do it
again?
again? Maybe, maybe. But, acting is my love.
Yes.
That's my first and foremost. And, I'm really excited that I have a couple of acting gigs coming up, in the next few weeks. So that's very exciting.
I can tell you this now, that you are now my second guest I've had on that has appeared on Texas, Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes, but were
I
they
got
punched
the
by Chuck Norris?
I got the main bad guy to come out here and talk with us, Marshall Teague.
Ah,
He- yeah, Marshall came out and talked to us. And he was on Chuck 6 times. He was on that show 6 times, playing
wow.
6 different characters. Yeah. Um, that's one of I think a lot of people. That's the one. Is that the most? What's the one movie that people comment on most, as far as your performances or your movies, besides Jurassic City, which you got killed in, which Derek Jeter got
Playtime.
really upset about.
And that was
Uh,
35 years ago.
what was it?
Um, Playtime.
Playtime. Okay.
Yeah, but no, nobody really comments on any particular one movie. I
Wow.
don't have I don't have one that people go over and over and over again that's the one. It's I
Really,
guess
I'm going
that's
to
the
do
problem
something.
with having done almost
I
200
I'm gonna have
movies.
to do something about that. People need to, you know what, I'm going to bring this out because I don't know if I brought this out again, but maybe I might have to dust off Jurassic City and bring that back. That's my first review, so I don't think I've done it on my YouTube channel, so I might have to do that. That's a really fun movie. Um, what has been what's your favorite movie? What's your three favorite projects that you've worked on?
Gosh.
Oh, God.
Um, Anything with Brandon Rogers.
Okay, I'm gonna have to,
Love.
yeah,
I
I'm gonna
just.
have to know
It's
this
a
guy.
joy to work with him.
Okay,
I'll send you some stuff on his channel. It's crazy and out there and offensive, and it's intentionally offensive, and
okay.
I like that. Um, so any of my stuff with Brandon Rogers, I loved my work in a film called That's a Wrap.
Okay.
There's no physical media on it,
Ah,
so you can't find it on a DVD.
that's a bummer to me because that's a
Yeah,
really it's really sucks. Like I said, when I found that the '90s thriller, I was so surprised because that was the first time I ever seen it. And then I typed that out and going like, man, and then I hear all these people sitting there going like, I have VH copies of that, but it never got translated to DVD. And I'm going like, why didn't it get transferred to DVD? There's millions of people out there that would really like to get these movies
yeah,
on DVD or Blu-ray. I mean, there's truly, what you think about it. There are a lot of movies, a lot of performances out there that we have not been able to get a chance
that
to watch,
nobody's seen.
but they're still,
Yep,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Someday somebody will do that and make some money.
Now, is that something they have told you about Verticals? Or Verticals, will they do a season or two and then release it? And
No,
you know,
they're it's really
no,
difficult for us to get copies of our verticals. The
that's
Yeah, they make it very difficult for us.
not
I have a
right.
whole system. I have a whole system. I actually rent. I purchase the whatever app, and then I watch it. I put two iPads, one recording the other, under a tent in my basement. So I like start them, and then I lock the door and run away. Very quiet.
Okay.
So that,
Also,
and
you
that's the
record it.
only way I can get copies of my own.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. It used to be like I was very much against piracy. I couldn't stand it. People come around that said, "Look, I got a bootleg," and I just said, "Just get away from me,"
Yeah, yeah.
because I knew that that's how artists made their money. But
But I
now with the
have to
lack of
bootleg
people,
my own stuff in order
yes,
to put it online to get jobs.
yeah. And now we have the bootleg movies that they won't release for us anymore. They want you to buy it in the digital, but not in the physical. And it's like
Yeah,
people are just now, yeah.
yeah.
I don't blame them anymore. When people sit there and say, "I got a bootleg," I just say more power to you. If they don't want to they don't want to put it out to the
If they don't
public.
want to give
Not
it to me,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not
Um,
selling it. I'm not out there showing it to people. It's just for my own use, just for my own demo
uh,
reel.
I got one more question for you before we go. I was going to ask you, what are your rest of your plans for 2026 and beyond? Is there any, I know short term is the vertical. Get anything long term coming up?
Um, Long term 2026. I have barely worked at all in 2026, so I'd like to make some money. Um,
Yeah.
I my income for 2026 has been about $600 a month each month. So I would like to, in the remaining part of the year, I would like to make some money. It would be nice. So I'm hoping that I get a commercial. Uh,
Right. Right.
that would it would be nice to be able to put a little money in the bank.
Yeah. Commercials
Um,
are great for that
yeah, and the only commercial that I booked this year I had to walk away from,
because your
but
wrists were
for
still healing.
timing stuff. Um,
Yeah. You've
but
done that twice now, haven't you? Didn't you break your wrist twice?
no, I broke both wrists simultaneously.
Okay. Okay,
So
I thought you broke it once before too.
no, I just broke them both, and then I just had surgery on this wrist a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it looks
So I was in a
good.
cast for a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
June 15th. I had the hardware removed, and then they also did a carpal tunnel surgery. So I had hardware removed from here, and then new incision there. So my left
Wow.
hand's really stiff right now, but it'll get there.
Yeah.
I do
More
lots of
cat
this.
therapy.
I'm
More
I'm doing a lot of
more,
twisty things. It's like you
I
see
would
me
just lay
spending
it
a
on
lot of
prequel. Just lay it on prequel. Let the cat therapy work.
yeah. You know, Siki
Uh,
just doesn't give me enough love. When I
yeah,
had my two broken arms, Colby saw that lap and went, perfect. And he put himself right there and he just said, I'm going to purr and purr and purr and I'm going to vibrate you healthy. But Sequel does not want to be on my lap. He will be next to me. That's as much as he can. And I have to put his special black blankie down because
right.
that's his favorite color because he's emo kitty. He's a little goth kitty.
Oh, love it. Listen, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I know you got to. I know you and Howard got the rest of the day to enjoy it with each other.
Well, we are off to the
I want,
gym, and then hopefully the spacers arrive so that we can start screwing these deck boards down. Um,
yes.
but yeah, that's
We'll
the
talk.
rest of my
I'm gonna
weekend.
touch you about. I'm gonna stay in touch with you about that. I want to see how that works. Your house repairs are amazing as well.
Thank you.
I tune in. I hear all the work that you guys are doing together, and I'm like, yeah, that's how it is. I mean, the thing is though, when you do it together, because we were doing that here in this house. You know, we're
Yeah,
building flower beds and deck and everything else, and it just seems so much more fun when it was fun when you're doing it with your spouse. Not
yeah.
so much fun by yourself.
No,
You know, and but good Lord, but you get out there, you go to the flower store, you buy flowers and dirt and stuff like that, and come back, and it never seemed like a chore, does it? It never seems
no,
like a chore when you're with Howard, and it was like that with Lorianne and I. It was just so much fun, and but you know, I'm envious of those days, and I'm glad you have them. Like I
I'm
said, I'm
glad I have
glad you
you.
guys have them. Um, all right, to the chat, our friend, Best Critic mentioned, Patrick, do you have Michael Pear in this future chat? I have no idea how to get a hold of Michael Pear because a so accessible, good actor. I think Best Critics from Europe. He has two good movies in 2026: Tramps Like Us, good trailer, and Vimeo. Patrick, Somewhere on YouTube. Thank you. To speak or indie good, yeah, the B or indie good movies. Hell yeah. This critic of Westerns by talented Timothy Woodward Jr. Traded. Yep, I reviewed that. With Michael. Yeah, I did actually. I have to review Westerns, right? And see. And I do know who Timothy Woodward is. He's done a few movies with friends of mine. All right. That is it for this show. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, over at Ben's Place. Ben from Cadaver Club. We're going to be watching Speak No Evil. We're going to be talking about that. That's going to be on ISC, The Midnighters, and that'll be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Otherwise, thank you all for coming out for the show. Monique, if you can just stay there for 1 second, I'm going
I
to say
will.
goodbye to everybody else. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.